Welcome to Speed Bump Garage. My name is Kent, and as you can see, we are in a salvage yard where today I'm going to attempt to get this old Ford pickup running and possibly drive it out of here all the way home. June of 1968, so this is going to be a 68 F-100 assembled in Kansas City, and if it has an engine in it, it should have been a 360 V8. 2002 is the last year it was tagged, so probably been parked for 20 years. Little file, make sure we got good contact points. Well folks, we don't have a key. Good morning. It is day 2 of our junkyard revival on the old Ford, and I think I'm more prepared today. I feel like I brought about half of the shop. I do have some good news. All 4 of the tires held air overnight. I filled them up with 25 pounds each just before I left, and even this really bad one still holding air. So off to a good start. I did pull the battery when I left last night so I could put it on the charger overnight. So now I'm going to throw the battery back in it. We'll get started. I did bring the chain today so we could drag it backwards, but we're so close to possibly running. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw a electric fuel pump on it and see if we can maybe back it up under its own power. I'm going to try it first. I won't spend a whole lot of time on it, but I'd rather do that than drag it and risk tearing something up. Here's my little electric pump. I just have some fairly long wires on them with some alligator clips so we can hook it direct to the battery. Get some fuel to the carburetor. Got us hooked up to the boat tank. I'll go ahead and see if we can get it primed before we hook it to the carburetor. There we go. We definitely have fuel now. We got fuel everywhere. Float must not be working, or the needle and seat's hung up because we're overflowing the carburetor really bad. I'm going to grab one of these zip ties here and pinch this fuel line for now so we can get it shut down. There we go. Nice valve. For those of you that don't know, when that fuel was coming out these vents, there's a float in that carburetor that closes a little valve to keep fuel from coming in there once it's full so it doesn't overflow and drain into the engine. Well, either that float has a hole in it and isn't floating, or our seat, it pushes a little needle and seat to close off to stop the fuel flow. Maybe it's hung up. A lot of times you can give them a little tap with a hammer and get them to quit, and I just tried that. I cannot get it to stop overflowing, so I think our only option now is to pull the top off the carburetor and see what we're dealing with. Well, it's looking like our float is floating, but the needle and seat is hung up. There's your little seat that should be lifting and dropping as that moves. Let me get some more tools. So the right thing to do here would be to pull this off so you don't drop any of these little screws down the intake and ruin your engine, but I'm just working right here, so hopefully we can avoid that. Accelerator pump's working a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to try to pull that float out of there and see if we can get the needle and seat out and take a look at it. I think I found our problem. I got the float out. You can see this little needle is just hung in there. I can't even pull it out with my fingers. That should float in there up and down to open and close the fuel flow. And it is hung up, so hopefully that's our issue. And guys, I'm not a carburetor expert. I know just enough to kind of get one apart, get it cleaned up and back together. But I would highly encourage you, if you do know a carburetor expert, soak as much knowledge up from them as you can, because those guys are few and far between nowadays. I wish I knew more about them. Oh yeah, I got the needle out. I don't know if that's showing up, but there's a lot of trash on there. I'm gonna spray all that out, get it cleaned up, and then we'll put it back together and make sure it floats up and down freely. Probably blow the rest of it out. And then I guess try it again. I'm kind of regretting not dragging this thing back first thing, because I'm still fighting this truck that's sitting in front of it. It's nice for a few things. I can use it as kind of a workbench, but I need some walking room. So I'm gonna try this, get it together. If it doesn't bust off, we're gonna hook up to it with my Ford pickup, drag it backwards. Before I blow everything out, I was gonna show you guys this carburetor is surprisingly clean for as long as this truck's been sitting. Not a bunch of dirt or gunk in there. I used a rag to soak up all the fuel I just put in there, so I think we may be in good shape if we get that needle and seat to work. Gosh dang. Well, that was a bonehead move. I didn't think my ground was hooked up on that fuel pump. I was going to hook it up and see if this needle and seat seated off, but my ground was hooked up and it blew my needle out somewhere, and I don't know where it went. Did you guys see where it went? Ah, it's down in the bowl. Found it. That little pump works good. It gave me a gasoline bath. Let's try that again with a little pressure on the needle. Seems to be seating off. I think we're in good shape. All right, I got the carburetor back together. I did bring a new starter, but I'm going to try to not put it on out here if we can make it run on this one, just because it'd be way easier at the shop. So fingers crossed, let's see if we can get it running. I'm going to go fuel pump on. We need to watch for leaks. That's ignition on too. Looks like the float's holding. Give her a little throttle. Huh. That's weird. I figured it'd fire right up. I think we had it flooded a little bit from that float overflowing. Oh yeah. She wants to run. Yeah, it's even idling. I don't see a bunch of smoke or anything. Tailpipe's there. That is pretty annoying. Man, listen to this thing. She's a runner. Let's see if we got any brakes. Oh, even got a little pedal. Oh, it's got forward gear. Oh, it's got reverse. I'm impressed. We've barely been here an hour and we're running. Today is a good day. It's going better. I need to check the tranny fluid. It's definitely got some in it. Hot dang. Let me hook the belt back up so we can get some water flowing through this thing. See if we can figure out if it's the water pump or the alternator making all the racket. And then we'll be able to drive it. Actually, you know what? I think I may try to back it up a little bit first. That way we have more room to work. Let's try that. Not fast enough. We successfully got ourselves all kinds of room now. The old Ford is out in the middle of the road with my old Ford backed up to it, using it as a workbench now, which is way handier because that's where all of our tools and equipment are. I think what I'm going to do now is get the belt hooked back up, like I said, and see if we can get some water circulating through it. Decide whether the bad noise we heard at the beginning of the video was coming from the alternator or the water pump. We know it's one or the other because when we took the belt off, it stopped. So that's where we're at now. I'm not going to film all that, but I will get back with you guys after I have the belt on it. We'll fire it up, see if we can figure something out. Well, I think part of my starter problem turned out to be this wire going from the solenoid to the starter was bad, and I found this little V6 over here. It's a lot later model, but the cable looks like it's in pretty good shape on it. So I think I'm going to try putting this one on there. There we go. I think that one will work good. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. One of the advantages of working in a junkyard, you can find a lot of the parts you need. I probably could have found a starter out here, but a new one was available. Well, I was wrong. I got this little cable that we robbed off that little V6 installed, and I'm still having issues unless I jump directly to that wire. So I think this battery cable is possibly our issues. I do have a new end, so I cut this back to some fresh wire. I'm gonna get the new end on it, and then we'll see if that fixes our starter problem. Because then maybe we could take that $70 starter back to Napa this afternoon, save us a little money. Here, we can try it like this first. Yeah, I think that battery cable's probably been our issue this whole time. Got this new kind of universal top post end we'll stick on there, see if that helps. We may have to do this to the ground too. We'll just see how it acts after I do this. I'm gonna move all these wires out of the way because I have the belt back on it now. I'm gonna try to see whatever's making that growling noise and see if we can either get it to stop or figure out where it's coming from. All these jumper wires are way more dangerous when your fan is actually turning. So we've got our ignition on here and power to the fuel pump here on the red one. Makes me a lot more nervous with the fan turning. Our float is hung open again, it appears. That is not good. I think that sound is coming from our water pump pulley. Looks like we got it seated back off. Just needed a little love tap. about 2.5 gallons, and it must have been almost completely out. I put 2.5 gallons in it. It's almost full, not quite. It'll be good enough. They must have been completely out. Here's where we're at. I went ahead and hooked the mechanical fuel pump back up, and it seems to be working. I've still got my ignition on because we don't have a key, and I don't have time to mess with the tumbler right now, and you guys are gonna like this. I took my starter toggle and I ran it through the wing window. So we've got control of the starter in there. We don't have control of ignition on. Got the fuel pump just sitting here on the course port. Fuel line zip tied up. I don't have a way to latch the hood down. We're just gonna take it easy on a quick test drive. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I got my ignition on. I topped off all the fluids. I put a little bit of brake fluid in it. We do have some brakes. I noticed when I backed it out. I put probably a quart of transmission fluid in there. Our oil is good. Put 2.5 gallons of water in it. We're a little bit low, but it'll be good enough for a quick drive. Got my starter jumper. I know you guys can't see that, but I'm gonna trigger it real quick. Oh yeah, just like factory. Let's go. Don't steer too bad. And our hood isn't latched down because I've got my fuel tank in there and I don't have a latch, but it seems like it's gonna work pretty good. Now we're turned around on the road. This is so awesome. This truck's been sitting probably for 20 years right here in this junkyard, and here we are driving it around. Such a good feeling. Pretty productive couple days we had on it. Transmission seems to be working good. Let's see if we can get a shift out of it. Yep, there's a shift. I think we've got a good truck. I'm excited about it. This thing is a cruiser deluxe. I don't know what that was. I really want to goose on it, but I'm afraid my fuel tank's gonna fall over, so we're gonna have to wait until we get some more stuff to secure it. Well, we got brakes and everything. I don't even know what to do with myself. Our water pump's still making a little bit of noise, but it's cleared up a little bit. Guys, I think we just got the perfect shop truck. All we need is a grill and headlight bezels and all the goodies that go on the front end, and we're in business. Well, let's try to get turned around and get back to... Uh-oh, come on baby, don't quit now. Dang it. It died right as far as I was gonna go. Come on. Oh yeah. She was just teasing me. See if we can get turned around. must have just not been primed when I was trying to run on it initially, because it's working great now. Pretty sure we can drive this thing home. It is a cruiser for sure. I think this is a first for the channel. We bought an old vehicle to revive. The brakes work and it has seat belts. It doesn't get much better than that. And it runs. It has this nice leather wrapped steering wheel. Get my hands a little dirty. Oh, I'm excited about this truck. I cannot wait to get the boys in this one. We made it all the way back. I think I'll go ahead and back it back into that spot where we started. There we go. Oh, so close. I think we're still fighting some carburetor issues. It seems like it's kind of slobbering and flooding itself out here and there. All right, let's hop out and see if it's smoking. Doesn't really look like it. It smells pretty rich. We're definitely flooding it out a bit. No smoke on this side. Take a peek under the hood. And kill it. I'm definitely going to call that a success for this video. I know we didn't get to drive it home, but I'm out of time for this weekend. I've got family stuff going on, and I'm going to leave this truck right here where we can pick up on it and probably bring the boys with me. I really didn't want to take this truck on the road trip home without my boys. So if this is your first time here, I've got two sons, Jack and AJ. They're typically with me on the channel, but they are in school today, so I got a jump start on this one without them. So anyway, if you know where I can get a 67 through 69 Ford front end, I need the grill, the whole 9 yards. You guys see what I need there. I need that so we can complete this truck, but I really am excited about this one. This is going to be a good shop truck. We're going to use the heck out of it. Can't wait to get it to the house and take it to the next level. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.